Communication breakdowns within families is rampant, and it leaves our children increasingly vulnerable. So I'm a parent, I'm a dad, and I worry, is my communication style part of the problem? Because sometimes as a parent, I'm a dictator. Dictator. When the kids were in diapers, being a dictator worked great. Don't lick that knife. Oh, that's not a toy. Take the dress off the cat. A dictator style of leadership is one where we use ultimatums, threats, and demands to get our way as a parent. Is there any other way to talk to a 2-year-old and keep them alive? But as the kids get older, dictatorship becomes a problem, not a solution. Kids don't want a dictator as a parent. And so they shut you down and shut you out. We've all seen what happens once the dictator is ousted, right? At first the people rebel, but then they just wander until a new leader finds them. My kids are 9 and 12, and that worries me because I know they've got influences outside of the house. Do you know that as a parent, as an adult, I actually believe in the boogeyman more than I ever did as a little kid? A couple months back, it's 6 a.m. It's cold, it's dark, it's rainy, it's Vancouver. I'm in the kitchen just before swim practice, and my daughter, Valencia, she's just staring at a plate of scrambled eggs. And she's got this frustrated, 1,000-mile stare on that sweet, angelic little Italian cheese. And so I asked her, what's wrong? Nothing. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm a dad. I'm a guy. I forgot chapter 1 of the Dude Handbook. You never ask a girl, what's wrong? Of course, I'm still her dad. So on the drive home, I use different words. So, Valence, breakfast was pretty quiet today. Well, finally she tells me. Old-fashioned schoolyard bullying had met social media. On the one social media app we let her use, her 12-year-old world is crumbling. One girl said mean things about another girl. And then when Valencia steps in to defend her friend, somehow the focus of those vicious messages moves her from the edge to the middle of that fight. And I don't know how, but somehow my daughter's best solution is, I've decided to quit the swim team. I lost it. What? Forget that. You're not quitting swimming. Dad of the year, right here. Swimming's always been a massive part of Valencia's life. Do you remember reaching out to touch your wife's belly just to feel that baby kick? Valencia used to do dog paddle. You should see her bedroom. It's covered in years of swimming ribbons and trophies and beautiful art. It's how she defines herself: fit, happy, confident. I can't just let her throw all of that away. But the more I pushed, the more I was a dictator, the more she shut me down, she shut me out. And when we got home, she slammed the door and she ran inside. Even the next day, nothing except the dictator is starting to realize ultimatums, threats, demands, she's not going to cut it anymore. That was the night. My wife and I finally have a chance to talk. So we flop down on the couch, ignoring the Lego pieces you're sitting on. And we just try to make sense of this friends and swimming and quitting and social media thing. My wife Deidre goes, "What happened to these little kids? They used to all be friends. And now they're just trying to pull each other down." I don't know. Drama, bullying, letting yourself get bullied. But Valencia is in pain. She's not talking. And she has to want to stay in swimming. Remember how I said I believe in the boogeyman more than I ever did as a little kid? It's because the boogeyman's in the news every day. Drugs, gangs, sexting, bullying, letting yourself get bullied. It turns out the boogeyman is a parent's nightmare. And family communication breakdowns leave our children, see what I'm doing here? Vulnerable. So glass of wine in hand, Deidre and I start picking up toys, the Lego. And Deidre turns to me and says, "Hey, what if we started treating the kids like clients?" What? Well, use your business strategies at home. How? And she said, "Well, Dom, you teach people how to be inspiring leaders. Maybe we could do that and be inspiring parents. Show them and teach them and listen instead of force and push and dictate." Well, yeah, that's what I do, but it sounds pretty controversial. Until we started talking it through, which looked like this. And we decided it was worth a shot. Because we can't fail at this one. We just can't. Our competition is the boogeyman. So we fall back on what I know, what I do. I know business tools. I'm a business coach. I've started and built and sold a couple of companies now, and I've seen what it takes to build strong, sharp leaders. In business, the best executives understand a company's vision, its goals, and its values, and that drives good decision making. Vision is the big picture, the grand prize, what we're ultimately aiming for. Our goals are actually just the little steps along the way that get you to the vision. And our values is the compass that keeps us on the path. It's who I am, what I will and won't do as a person. But how do you translate business tools into mom and dad language for preteens? Well, that night, picking up Lego, we decided to run a social experiment on ourselves. We would take the tools that we know from business and modify them into a system for leading and guiding our family. First, we're going to make vision boards. Get a stack of old magazines and some glue sticks and poster board. It's really mostly just dollar store stuff. Second, instead of business meetings, we're going to rely on something that we knew as kids: eating dinner together as a family. And look, we know our kids are kids. If I call a family meeting to talk about our vision, our values, our goals, well, that's going to go over like Brussels sprouts, right? Deidre said something very cool. She said, "Hun, I don't even think we need to push it. Let's just get the conversation started because we have our whole lives to finish it." Where are you, hun? Oh. So our kids love sushi. Love it. Love it, love it. Friday night comes, we order in a ton of sushi. Kids have a little bit of miso soup in their belly. It's time for me to launch the plan. Let me tell it. Hey kids, do you know what a vision board is? Well, the words aren't even out of my mouth. Valencia's got her eyes on a California roll. She just looks at me, she drops her shoulder, and she's like, come on, Dad, please. Can't we just eat? Gentlemen, the next look I got was this. From Deidre. And she took over. She said, kids, this will be fun. We're going to cut pictures out of the magazines and glue them on the board. Valencia, that's it? Just cutting out pictures and gluing them on the board? And then Deidre said, yeah, you know what, kids, just look through the magazines. Anything you want to come true in your life, cut that picture out and then glue it on your vision board. It was so much fun. Valencia cut out pictures of beautiful art, lots of color, and swimmers. And JJ, my 9-year-old son, he cut out pictures of cute animals and boats, like cruise ships. And so when Deidre and I asked him about it, he said, very matter-of-factly, well, those are the animals I'd like to see all around the world, and I'd like to go by boat. Okay. So that night, you know what was on the table with the sushi? Our family's vision, our family's goals. Anyways, the next day was a practice day, a brutal 2-hour swim practice day. And I knew I couldn't push. I couldn't be the dictator. I had to be patient, and I had to wait. 6 o'clock, I'm waiting. 6:01, I'm waiting. 6:02, I'm waiting. And then I hear it. She comes running down the stairs, and she has her swim bag in her hand, and she says, come on, Dad, let's go. I don't want to be late. Oh. One boogeyman down. Woo! It worked. My wife and I hadn't told her what to do. We'd had that little family meeting, sushi, and we'd made vision boards with our kids. And she'd refocused on her goals. And to the kids, it just looked like arts and crafts with Mom and Dad. She talked with me the whole way to swim practice. And I just kept quiet, except I said things like, okay, yeah. Tell me more about that, honey. How did that make you feel? This is serious business coaching you're hearing right now. Is it ironic that when we set out to teach our kids how to think differently, we had to do it first? You know what Deidre and I learned? Dictatorship, that's easy. Inspirational leadership, that takes real effort. And the effort is worth it. Our kids are talking with us, not to us, with us. And now, they don't use business words like values, right? But they sure do talk about those vision boards. They already want to do it again. The steps we took seem so simple now. And I keep hoping our social experiment can inspire others because it worked for us. And it might work for you too. Number 1, make a decision to be an inspiring leader as a parent. And that way you won't have to compete with the boogeyman. Number 2, make vision boards with your kids. Incredible fun. And what we learned is that our kids got to tell us what their goals were through pictures. And number 3, double down on the tradition of family meals together. No TV, no mobile devices, no Angry Birds. For my family, that little sushi meeting, old-fashioned dinner with family, it got the conversation started. And we have our whole lives to finish it. Now, there is one more threat that I am working hard at finding a business solution for. Boys.